Morning, morning to everyone, everywhere. Even if you're located in another galaxy where the time is different. It's morning where I'm at. So, again, let me just get this situated so I don't hold this phone in my hand while I conversate with y'all. Make sure I got everything right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I should be. Okay, so that's the chat. That's something new. All right, we're gonna share the live. If you got this far, please subscribe, like, and share the live. It's free. It's almost so free that if you don't do it, you're doing yourself an injustice because that means you just dedicated less than a minute to watching a video that you didn't share with others. So either you wasted your time or you robbed people of their time of experiencing this video like you did for however many seconds or minutes you decided to watch it. So hit the like, subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate it wherever you at. And now let's get into it. Let's definitely get into it. Alright, so this is a story that I decided to tell from yesterday. As you can see my background, that's the hospital that I was in yesterday. Um this hospital is located in Brooklyn. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what hospital it is because I'm not making this video to bash the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I believe that they didn't do anything wrong besides what hospitals do. You know how hospitals are. You go to a hospital, top of the morning. You go to the hospital and they have you there all day. You know the typical vibes. Sometimes they move extra slow. And a person like me, especially if you know me in real life, that type of shit irritates me. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? For the most part, I'm okay. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Shout out to Jace. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, man. So right, boom, I wakes up yesterday. Matter of fact, let me take y'all all the way back to the beginning. All the way back to the beginning, right? So, okay, let's say about a week ago, right? A week ago, I wakes up in the morning and I head to the store. Before I leave my apartment, I'm thinking that I got my keys in my pocket because I usually do, right? I guess I was moving so fast. It was so sunny outside, just like this morning is, and I was fiending to get out there, get some air, right? So I leaves out of the crib, door slams, bang, I shuts it. Soon as I shuts it, my memory decides to kick in. Like, all right, do you have your keys? So at this time, before I even grab or put my hand in my pocket to grab what I think is my keys, I'm thinking like I got them. Cause I've thought that before. And when I stuck my hand in my pocket, I had them. So I said, nah, I got them. Ain't no way I didn't put them in my pocket. I seen them before I left out the door. I literally picked them up, not remembering that I put them back down. You feel me? So boom, I I put my hand in my pocket. There's no keys. I'm now locked out of my apartment. This is about 9 in the morning, maybe even 8 something, because I like to leave out early, get some air. You know, I'm an early person, early bird, right? So boom, I put my hand in my pocket, no keys. I'm locked out. Now, usually when I'm locked out, right, my friend, thank God for her and her slender body. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to her. I usually have her come downstairs and climb through my window. You feel me? And that's if my window is open, because most of the time I keep my windows locked, especially during the summer, because I got the AC on. You know, I don't really need to keep my windows open. And I'm keeping out all the insects, bugs, flies, you know, the typical shit, right? No, I'm not at the hospital right now, Braden. Yeah, so boom, right? I'm like, oh man, I can't even call her because she's not here. She's at work that day. So I'm assed out, right? I calls my super because my super let me in my house one day, right? No, I'm out of the hospital now. I was in the hospital yesterday, a few hours ago, right? So boom, um, I'm like, I can't call her. I call her super. I'm like, yo, I need somebody to let me in my apartment because he let me in my apartment before. Do you know what this dude said to me? Excuse me. Do you know what this dude said to me? He said, yo, I never had a key to let you in your apartment before. I said, bro, I literally locked myself out the first year I moved here, which was 3, 4 years ago now. I said, you came down after you told me on the phone you didn't have a key. You came down with a key and let me in. I got good memory, especially when it comes to remembering things like that. I know some of you might say, well, why you don't remember to put your keys in your pocket? I mean, shit, I've been here 4 years. That day was the second day out of 4 years that I left my keys in my crib. I mean, you gotta cut me some slack, right? That's 2 days out of 4 years. I mean, shit, my memory ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I remember you came down with the key and let me in. He says, nah, I used a credit card. Now, when he told me this, my response wanted to be disrespectful, maybe a couple of profanity words. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, all right, because I knew he was lying. And I know they lying. And they know they lying. But I'm not about to go through that because I'm trying to get back in my crib. So I calls him after texting him what I just was telling y'all. I was texting him about my keys. I calls him now. I'm like, yo, you know, hit the main dude, the owner. Let him know, you know, pull up on me or something and let me in my crib or something. So he sends me some bullshit number, which is not to the dude. I don't know, some Mexicans came on a voicemail. I don't know what the hell they said. I hangs up. I'm like, yo, bro, that ain't the number. Like, what's up? He sends me the number to the office. So I calls the office. Of course, I don't get no answer. Typical shit, right? So now I'm outside at the store, sitting across the street because I can't get back in my crib. It's sunny as shit outside. Like I said, nice day. But now I'm starting to drip sweat from my fucking head. I'm hot. I've been outside for about 2 hours at this point. I'm like, yo, Fats, the only way to get back into your crib at this point is you getting back into your crib at this point. So then I start brainstorming. You feel me? I start thinking and all that. You feel me? I'm like, nah, I gotta be away, bro. I gotta be away. I start going into my Pisces, psychedelic, quantum leaping type shit. What can I do to get back into my crib? So I just remembered, because it's a nice day, this day, that day, the day before I put my AC in the window. Because I knew it was going to be one of them days. I'm like, yo, it's going to be fucking hot. I need some air, right? So luckily, my AC was in the window. God is good. Less than 24 hours ago is when I put it in the window. So now there is a window open. Literally, there is a window open. You feel me, right? So now I'm like, bro, I gotta go through the window. Now we all know, well, maybe you don't know. Um, I'm a fat dude. I'm a big dude. My name is Fats Geronimo. Even your mama know. You feel me? So I'm like, my nigga, this is me consulting with my conscience. I'm like, my nigga, you gotta climb through the window, but you big as shit. Now there's levels to being big as shit. I'm not Dave Blunt's big. Shout out to Dave Blunt. Ain't nothing wrong with being fucking big, huge, gigantic, unless it's putting your health at risk. Then we all know that that's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? You got to get right, got to get healthy. But there are a lot of people I've met in my fat life that are fat, and they have been healthy and they've lived long and flourishing lives. So I don't want to single out anybody because they're big or fat. I'm big and fat myself. You feel me? But the truth of the matter is, the realistic part is, I'm big. The window is, I guess you could say, a standard window. It's not too wide. It's not. It's just a standard window. I mean, you look at any building window, it's kind of like that window. You know what I'm saying? You could open it from the top, or you could open it from the bottom, right? So the AC is located at the bottom. You know, I'm like, all right, I gotta open the window from the AC and push the shit up, and then I have to push my air conditioner inside of the crib. Now, when I push my air conditioner inside of the crib, it's gonna hit the floor because it's in the window. If you could kind of visualize what I'm saying, right? So, boom. Now the obstacle in my way is, well, how can I reach the window? I understand I gotta get through the window, but how can I reach it? That's a whole nother story. That shit is about 3 to 4 feet, not off the ground, but 3 to 4 feet from, let's say 3 to 4 feet from, let's say 3 to 4 feet from my waist level. So outside, when I'm facing the window starts about at my shoulders. You feel me? So from the waist up, it's about a 4 feet space that I need to get up in order to get through the window, right? Stay with me, follow me, right? So boom, I'm looking around for something to stand on. I see a bench inside of the gate. I'm like, yo, I can't do the fucking bench, bro. The last bench they had out there, I tried to stand on that shit one time because of something similar, and I fucking broke the bench, bro. So I'm like, I can't break these people's second bench. So I'm looking around, and then it starts to click. I'm like, yo, there's like a fake ass garden in here in this yard. So there's big ass bricks that have been located in such a pattern that's like decoration for the garden. So I takes one of the big ass bricks and I brings it to the window. Bomb, sets it right there. It's still not enough for me to get up. You know, it's a brick about maybe 6 to 7 inches. I just told you we got about 3 feet, 3 to 4 feet. I gotta try to maneuver. So that's not enough. So I'm like, well, am I gonna stack bricks on top of bricks? Now the thing with that is, the more I put these bricks there, because they're not very wide, they're just thick. So the more I put the bricks there, because of science, you stand on the brick, the shit is gonna lean, or you might even fall, because it's not a steady foundation. It's just bricks on top of bricks. And these bricks again aren't that wide, right? So now I'm like, all right, boom. I gotta do what I gotta do. I see the big ass flower pot, plastic joint. I come brings that, turns it upside down, put the brick on top of it, and I tries to stand on that. I stands on that. I'm about a foot away from where I need to be. That's not enough also. So I'm like, damn, the fuck am I gonna do? I got people across the street looking at me. I mean, obviously by this time they realize I'm not a thief, because, you know, I'm just taking my motherfucking time. I'm looking them in the face also. And it's broad daylight. And, you know, and in this neighborhood, you'll go to jail if anybody thinks that, you know, you breaking into a crib. And not to mention my skin color. You know, my neighborhood is not, let's just say my skin is not the majority in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So to speak. So I'm like, all right, come on. Halfway they gotta figure it out. I'm looking around in the yard, I see the ceramic flower pot. You know, the heavy joint. Shit made out of clay. Half of it is in the ground. Half of it is in the ground. It's about a circumference of about a foot. Right? That's probably a foot. You feel me? So it's wide enough to stand on. It's heavy. It's heavy duty. I don't really know the height yet because half of it is in the ground. But I go for it. I literally pull the fucking flower pot, heavy as shit. I pulls it out of the ground. Leave the dirt in it and all that. I rolls it, because the shit is heavy as shit. I rolls it on this side near my window. Turns it upside down. Throws a brick on top of it. And now I'm about a foot away. Once I stand on it with one leg, because it's not even a wide enough brick to stand on it with 2 feet. So once I stand on it with one leg, which is my left leg, now this 1 foot that's left in height difference, I gotta use my right knee to scoop myself on the windowsill. That's right there. You know, it's not that wide for a knee, but it's definitely enough to put your knee there. And again, I'm a big dude, so we not even talking about a typical knee. You know what I'm saying? So boom, I goes for it. I put my right knee up there. I'm up there. It's lit. I'm up there. I opens the window. Mind you, it's a few of them. Opens some shits. I pushes my AC slowly through my window. Make sure it doesn't fall inside of the crib, because it's a short wire and I'm not trying to break my motherfucking AC because it's too hot for that shit to happen. Like, feel me? Swear to God, gotta say a prayer. Hope I don't break this shit. Boom. I safely gets the AC in the crib. It's on the floor in my bedroom. Safely. Wasn't a loud drop. So now my window's wide open. Like a window of opportunity. You feel me? It's wide open. So now, I come back down from the windowsill, right? Because after all that pushing and clearing this shit out, now I got a clear way of getting in here, right? Mind you, I got a bag from the grocery store, some cat food, a juice or something, right? Bag of chips, half bag of chips I was eating while I was by the store. blah blah blah. I comes in the building in the lobby. I sit my bag by my apartment. You feel me? Which is located by other apartments, but it's located by 2 or 3 little steps. I mean, it's probably 3 feet away from my door. It's right there. I sits the bag there because I'm about to go climb through the window, open my apartment door, and grab the bag in the hallway. Comes back outside, window wide open. I'm not gotta hurry up. All types of motherfucking bugs probably gonna fly up in my crib. Boom. Excuse me. We go for it again. One leg, next leg, knee up there. I'm up there. I'm on the windowsill. I could see in my crib. I'm like, all right, let's go. Now I got to get through the window. Luckily, I lost a couple pounds a few months ago, right? Maybe 10, 20. My shit be up and down. But for the most part, I've been working out, pardon myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been working out in the morning with my weights and all that. So, I'm kind of I'm kind of where I need to be for this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't even attempt to try to get in through the window if I didn't think I was, right? So boom. Now I'm like, all right, bro, you gotta go through the window. The window was surprisingly wide enough for me to get through. That was not even a question, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was fucking surprised. The part that was hard was, the AC sits in the window, right? But it sits on, the windowsill where the window shuts at. Those little rows where the window comes down and locks into the. That shit fucking tore my elbows up because I gotta. You feel me? And then I gotta pull myself through the window. You feel me? And then in my room, it's the floor drops from the window. So now I gotta go through the window, use my arms to touch the floor, while my legs is behind me, being dragged. I'm walking in my crib through the window with my 2 hands. These become my feet. After I get in my window, these hit the floor. Boom. Picture me doing a push-up. Picture me doing a push-up from the windowsill, right? Like my feet is on the windowsill in my room, and then my hands are on the floor. So picture me doing like a weird-ass push-up from the windowsill. I'm a big dude, so these 2 arms, these shits become like my motherfucking legs. And I feel my weight on my motherfucking arm. So I'm walking through the window type shit. Before I could get through, my knee slips from the windowsill and I fall on the side, my left side, because my knee slipped, so I kind of fell. And when I fell, my stomach or my rib hit the windowsill where the windows would shut at, those rows and shit. So now my shit, oh man, I feel like somebody fucking kicked me in the side, in my stomach or some shit. Now at the time, because of the adrenaline, I don't notice that my fucking elbows is scratched up. I don't notice that my arms is fucking red because it's bruises. I don't know none of that because you don't feel that at the time. So I comes in the crib, my legs finally hit the floor. Boom! I'm in my crib again. Thank God. Put my AC back in the window. Turns it on immediately because it's fucking hot. And by this time, I'm dripping. You feel me? So, I'm in the crib now. Couple days later, I still feel a little pain on my side where I hit, on the window. So I'm like, man, that shit'll go away. Don't worry about that shit. Couple days pass, some more. Fucking pain still there. It's not really strong, but it's still there. Another day passes. I wake up in the morning. I start cleaning. I bends over to pick up something. Fucking pain shoots up to like right here. It comes from downside to my stomach where it starts. And then it's like now it's like trying to And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm thinking it's like some type of gas or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like when I bent over, I felt like what I was feeling like an air in my chest or something. So now I'm like, nah. This shit got me feeling like I'm about to pew, up a room. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't having that. So now I'm like, all right, everything changes at this point. I gotta hop in the shower now, wash my ass. Hopefully I could do that. And then I gotta call the motherfucking ambulance and get to the hospital, bro. Cause I don't know what this shit is. I'm not trying to be one of them niggas. You know, you hear stories. Oh, you should have. If he would have came 2 more minutes, or he'd have came the day it happened, he'd have made it. He came a day late. Like, you know, I be thinking shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here, go to the hospital. So boom, hops in the shower. You know, I'm fucked up. So, you know, my shower is kind of fucked up. You feel me? But I did the best I could do. You know what I'm saying? Um, I get dressed, call the ambulance. You know, like, yo, my fucking chest hurting. I don't know. So, they pulls up. I'm already in front of the crib. You feel me? Because all that shit is a long process. You know, I told you from the beginning. Shit like that irritates me. So I'm meeting them niggas in the front. Met them niggas in the front. They pull out the bed. They like, yo, you know, get on this side. How we gonna put this in the back? Take you. I'm like, cool. They do that. They got me in the back of the bus. You feel me? Um, they start talking to me, taking vitals and shit. Yo, no bullshit. We sat in the back of that motherfucker in front of my crib for at least 30 minutes. Now that's a half an hour. It don't seem like a lot because time is weird. Time moves at its own pace. You feel me? We think that shit is no. Some days you be like, oh, the day went by fast. That's because you noticed that the day went by fast. That's not some shit that you feel or you just like a theory. You kind of, as a human being, you noticed, yo, the fucking day went by because time moves at its own pace. It really does, but that's a whole nother story. You feel me? So I'm like, damn, if this shit was serious, I gotta fuck around, kick the bucket. We still on my block. You feel me? They finished doing what they doing, talking and shit, and then the guy behind me. Now this is the weirdest shit right here. This is the guy behind me. He says, oh, you're a rapper. I say exactly what I say. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm up and coming. His reply was, well, you know, you're a little bit more than just like up and coming. Now, at this time, I think I'm in a twilight zone. I'm not gonna lie. Shit starts to get warpy. I'm thinking I'm in a TV show. Yo, I can't even tell you what the fuck was going through my mind at this time. I felt like I was in a matrix. I'm like, again, I reply. I'm like, well, yeah, you know, I'm not, you know, I ain't there yet, but I'm up and coming. And he's like, yeah, you gonna be you gonna be big. What the fuck is going on here? I'm thinking niggas is about to run in the fucking ambulance like, yeah, prank. I'm you know what I'm saying? Like this shit can't be. I'm like, mind you, this dude is a older white dude. He looked like he was about 60 years old. This is why this shit was mind blowing to me. So I'm like, I said, yo, how you know I was a rapper? And he was like, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So give me a second to replay it because I don't want to lie. I said, how do you know I was a rapper? And he said, I recognize your name. So now I say, well, I go by the name of Fats Geronimo, even your mama know. It's not like I told you that name once I got into the ambulance. So this is what I'm thinking. I didn't say that to him, but this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, how is that? I ain't have no response. I'm just stuck thinking on that. How did he know? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. So after he finished asking me these questions and shit, about my health and, whatever, he sat down next to me because now we on the road. Now this shit is actually moving. Other homeboy, he in the front, he driving. He says, do you rap about anything political? So I said, nah. I try to stay away from politics because people are sensitive when it comes to politics. And before I could finish my sentence, he says, yeah, you try to keep everybody happy. And I say, yeah. Because there's been times when I've gotten on the internet and said things, based on Trump, not as much as I see other people do, because that's just not my vibe, but it's things I have spoken on, right? And even though I've spoken on it, I know that talking politics is a very sensitive subject when it comes to the world. You can have your own opinion amongst yourself and your community and whoever you deal with. But when we address the world with our opinion, it gets different. People really stand on certain shit. A lot of these people really, they feel in their heart, that these people put in positions are right people, or, motherfuckers be willing to go to bat for these people that they support. You know what I'm saying? So I know that. I always knew that. So I don't do too much. But I said, yeah, man, I don't, I stay away from that. Now that was the question that had me like tripping. I'm not gonna lie. That's when I looked at Son and I seen a Matrix agent in my mind. Cause I'm like, bro, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? But he's a cool dude. He seemed like a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying my perspective. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? Because I'm a Pisces, I'm fats, and this is just how I think, how I process shit. So I'm like, what the fuck does this? At this point, I'm just hoping I'm motherfucking safe. I ain't even gonna lie. Cause I feel like I'm in the Matrix. You feel me? Morpheus about to come. Save me from these niggas. I don't know, right? So I finally get to the hospital. And after hours of sitting there, a bunch of bullshit that I don't really want to keep talking about, I finally gets checked out. And yeah, I came back home at the end of the day yesterday. And I'm here. The doctor told me that apparently I fell on my rib. I bruised my rib. And he said because I bruised my rib, he said the pain is like, it's healing, but now I feel it in different areas because he said when it first happens from adrenaline and, you don't really feel as much as, you don't feel that much damage at the beginning but over time, days pass, you start to feel that shit. So I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yo, take some ibuprofen and try not to make it worse. Basically. I'm like, I got some of that in the crib. He like, well, perfect. I heads back to the crib. You feel me? But that particular time between arriving at the hospital and dealing with the EMS on my way there, that was that was very interesting. So much interesting that I had to pull out my phone and I started Googling immediately. How would the EMS know that you're a rapper? because I needed answers, bro. I needed answers. I'm like, bro, I just felt like I walked into a fucking room and niggas knew. Like it's a weird feeling when people, I don't know if that ever happened to anybody watching this, but it's a weird feeling when people know things that you don't expect them to know, and they know them ahead of time without you telling them. It almost feels like a fucking setup or whatever. It feels great too. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, from my perspective, I might feel like I'm a struggling artist because I'm independent. Everything has to be done in house. A video, what I'm wearing, promotion. That's what independent is. Independent is being your own label, and I always knew that, but it's hard. It's not easy. If you ain't got no chicken, it's damn near impossible. It's damn near impossible. Um, and I didn't have no chicken to run a label. I knew I wanted my own label because I had a group of people around me who I wanted to put on with myself included. And I was trying to build a foundation, so over time that foundation could become its own actual entity. And now if situations arise as far as deals, now it's like, all right, we got a whole package deal. I'm not just by myself. We got so and so, so and so, so and so. So give us enough for us to be what we are trying to be, what we need to be. That's how I looked at it, right? So I made my own label in my mom's apartment in the projects. I started my record label, Flight Team Records. We going on about I think this is about 7 years now. I've had this label, and I started it in my mom's apartment in the projects in Soundview. You feel me? And I took it and threw it on my back. Whether anybody else was supporting or repping it, which most people weren't. It gave me a chance to see who people were, because you got me. I just created this for us. Let's see who steps up to be. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing with music and most artists. If there's no money dangling in front of them, and I use that specifically, dangling, pause, because that's exactly what it is. It's like you're a fucking horse, and the carrot is the fucking money, and it's dangling, and it keeps you running and moving and chasing this fucking vibe for the rest of your life. You feel me? I'm trying to see who's really gonna try to get the fucking carrot, because I know I'm gonna get the carrot. I'm not about to be doing this shit and playing with it. I spent money on creating this shit that I don't have, like I just said. So I seen nothing. I seen motherfuckers attempting to try to, but they wasn't really pushing themselves 100%. I'm the only one that's fucking 100% hip hop and rap all fucking day. I eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. You got motherfuckers who do it and then they want to take breaks from it. They don't want to talk about rap. They don't want to hear about rap. And that's cool. But we two different people. And I'm the nigga who created the label. So I have to be this way. I'm damn near obsessed. I study shit. I've been studying the game. I've been studying situations. I've been studying fucking songs, music for years. Because this is something that I love. Not even with the thinking that one day I'll be a part of it. In the beginning, it was just something I loved. I wanted to study, hear everything, understand this shit. And then that grew into me becoming an artist with my own talent. And then that's when it started to become something different. Like, oh, I could do this shit to change my life. A girl calling me right now, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short, right? But boom. So I took a fucking chance. And I'm gonna wrap this up real quick with, you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. No matter what. I'm not mad at anyone. But you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. You can't betray yourself. That voice in your head is always gonna be the loudest in your life. But not the voices that you hear in your through your ear, or in reality, people you talk to, or even yours. None of that shit matters. The voice that's in here that nobody else hears but you, that is the most important voice that you will hear in your life. So I can't portray that. If my voice in my head is like, yo, bro, you got to run. You got to fucking run. You got to go, bro. You can't worry about A, B, C, and D. You got to go. And once I started listening to that voice, everything has been fucking gravy, because that's my true self, not what I'm projecting, not what I'm saying out loud, but what's in here. This is my true authentic self. So if I follow that, my reality matches my inside. And my inside, I hope that don't sound crazy, pause. My inside in my mind is projecting from a different reality, because my consciousness is not in the world. It's tucked away in the spiritual realm in my head. That's why